Welcome to PixelPlus Productions. One of our most popular services would be our ability to transform your book into an audiobook, expanding your story's reach to a new, untapped audience. Audiobooks represent a rapidly growing segment of the publishing industry, offering a unique opportunity for authors to reach new audiences and adapt to changing reader preferences. By converting your book into an audiobook, you not only diversify the formats in which your story is available, but also cater to a community of listeners who prefer auditory learning or simply enjoy the convenience of audiobooks. Audiobooks make your work accessible to those who may have visual impairments, busy lifestyles, or a preference for listening over reading. This expands your potential audience significantly, tapping into a market that enjoys consuming literature during commutes, workouts, or even while multitasking at home. Increased revenue streams. Offering your book in multiple formats naturally opens up additional revenue channels. Audiobooks can be sold alongside your print and digital editions, providing a comprehensive suite of options for consumers and increasing your overall sales potential. Enhanced narrative experience. Audiobooks allow for a dynamic storytelling experience through the use of voice, tone, and sometimes even full cast performances. This can bring your characters and settings to life in a way that resonates differently than text alone, potentially reaching a deeper emotional level with your audience. Innovative sound design. Unlike standard audiobooks that feature a simple narration, our service includes background music, sound effects, and distinct voices for each character. This immersive sound design enriches the listening experience, making your story more engaging and memorable. Our audiobooks are produced with high-quality audio equipment and professional editing practices, ensuring a clear, well-paced narration that meets industry standards. This professionalism helps to enhance your book's credibility and appeal in a competitive market. We do more than just narrate. We create a full audio experience. Our process involves casting the right voice. We select voices that match the personalities and traits of your characters, as described in your book, enhancing the authenticity of the audio portrayal. Soundtracking and effects. We carefully choose music and sound effects that align with the action and mood of your scenes, adding an extra layer of dimension to the listening experience. Quality production. From recording to editing, we ensure every aspect of the audiobook is polished, offering listeners a seamless and enjoyable experience. Don't just let your readers see your world. Let them hear it. Convert your book into an audiobook and give your story a voice that speaks directly to the hearts and minds of your audience. Contact us today to learn how we can transform your written words into a captivating auditory journey. Now enjoy an audiobook sample we produced of the beginning of the classic, The Great Gatsby, by F. Scott Fitzgerald. This would be an example of when less is more. No soundtrack or sound effects needed. We have multiple voices to bring the story's characters alive, but otherwise, we let the story shine. In this example, the epigraph is being read by one voice while the narrator is another. Whether it's a drama or a science fiction thriller, we will develop your story into an audiobook with the taste and class it deserves. Now please enjoy a short sample from one of the greatest books ever written.
The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. Then wear the gold hat, if that will move her. If you can bounce high, bounce for her too, till she cry, "Lover, gold-hatted, high-bouncing lover, I must have you." Thomas Park D'Invilliers.
In my younger and more vulnerable years, my father gave me some advice that I've been turning over in my mind ever since. Whenever you feel like criticizing anyone, he told me, just remember that all the people in this world haven't had the advantages that you've had. He didn't say any more, but we've always been unusually communicative in a reserved way, and I understood that he meant a great deal more than that. In consequence, I'm inclined to reserve all judgments, a habit that has opened up many curious natures to me, and also made me the victim of not a few veteran bores. The abnormal mind is quick to detect and attach itself to this quality when it appears in a normal person. And so it came about that in college I was unjustly accused of being a politician, because I was privy to the secret griefs of wild, unknown men. Most of the confidences were unsought, Frequently, I have feigned sleep, preoccupation, or a hostile levity when I realized by some unmistakable sign that an intimate revelation was quivering on the horizon, for the intimate revelations of young men, or at least the terms in which they express them, are usually plagiaristic and marred by obvious suppressions. Reserving judgments is a matter of infinite hope. I am still a little afraid of missing something if I forget that, as my father snobbishly suggested, and I snobbishly repeat, a sense of the fundamental decencies is parceled out unequally at birth. And after boasting this way of my tolerance, I come to the admission that it has a limit. Conduct may be founded on the hard rock or the wet marshes, but after a certain point, I don't care what it's founded on. When I came back from the East last autumn, I felt that I wanted the world to be in uniform and at a sort of moral attention forever. I wanted no more riotous excursions with privileged glimpses into the human heart. Only Gatsby, the man who gives his name to this book, was exempt from my reaction. Gatsby, who represented everything for which I have an unaffected scorn. If personality is an unbroken series of successful gestures, then there was something gorgeous about him, some heightened sensitivity to the promises of life, as if he were related to one of those intricate machines that register earthquakes 10,000 miles away. This responsiveness had nothing to do with that flabby impressionability which is dignified under the name of the creative temperament. It was an extraordinary gift for hope, a romantic readiness such as I have never found in any other person, and which it is not likely I shall ever find again. No. Gatsby turned out all right at the end. It is what preyed on Gatsby, what foul dust floated in the wake of his dreams that temporarily closed out my interest in the abortive sorrows and short-winded elations of men. My family have been prominent, well-to-do people in this middle western city for 3 generations. The Carraways are something of a clan, and we have a tradition that we're descended from the Dukes of Buccleuch. But the actual founder of my line was my grandfather's brother, who came here in '51, sent a substitute to the Civil War, and started the wholesale hardware business that my father carries on today. I never saw this great-uncle, but I'm supposed to look like him, with special reference to the rather hard-boiled painting that hangs in Father's office. I graduated from New Haven in 1915, just a quarter of a century after my father, and a little later I participated in that delayed Teutonic migration known as the Great War. I enjoyed the counter-raid so thoroughly that I came back restless. Instead of being the warm center of the world, the Middle West now seemed like the ragged edge of the universe. So I decided to go east and learn the bond business. Everybody I knew was in the bond business, so I supposed it could support one more single man. All my aunts and uncles talked it over as if they were choosing a prep school for me, and finally said, "Why, yes," with very grave, hesitant faces. Father agreed to finance me for a year, and after various delays, I came east, permanently, I thought, in the spring of '22. The practical thing was to find rooms in the city, but it was a warm season, and I had just left a country of wide lawns and friendly trees. So when a young man at the office suggested that we take a house together in a commuting town, it sounded like a great idea. He found the house, a weather-beaten cardboard bungalow at $80 a month, but at the last minute the firm ordered him to Washington, and I went out to the country alone. I had a dog. At least I had him for a few days until he ran away, and an old Dodge and a Finnish woman who made my bed and cooked breakfast and muttered Finnish wisdom to herself over the electric stove.
If you enjoyed this sample of our book to audiobook service, contact PixelPlus Productions and let us bring your story to life.